everybody, it's me, DeoGenZ, here with another episode of Pokemon of the Week. This week, we are checking out the OU tier to take a look at the only poison type within. It's Toxicroak, and it's totally badass. I'm going to start out with an offensive set, but this thing can be played defensively thanks to its access to Bulk Up, which will boost its defense and offense. But let's step back a bit to its ability, Dry Skin, which makes this superb for a rain set. Absolutely necessary for this set here to have rain activated and to prevent sun from ever shining. See, with Dry Skin, it's a double-edged sword. It's good in that it will slice down your foes, it will negate any water type move thrown at you because it will be absorbed by Toxicroak, kind of act as a moisturizer for its dry skin, and it won't be affected, so that's the perfect time to switch in. If you're looking for a switch in that's free and easy to get your bulk up, then that would be it, or perhaps Sword Stance if you're going more offensively. And if you make it so that the settings and surroundings are moist with a Rain Dance, you'll actually get some health from that on top of the Black Sludge healing that you'll get from the item it's holding. Now, the other side of that sword that will slice yourself if you're not too careful is if the sun comes out, sun, 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 here it burns, because it won't boost anything, it will actually take away your health, and fire moves become even more effective. Now, I'm not certain if it becomes on the super effective level, or if it's perhaps a 1.5 times boost for the fire type damage, but you don't want this frog out on the field if fire types come around, especially if they are trying to mess with your sun, because as you can see from this set, it's not ready to re-up the rain. You'll have to switch back out to your Rain Dancer, then you can safely switch to Toxicroak. And the funny thing is, your opponent will think, oh, this is a perfect time to use my water type poke, because now it will be super powered by the rain. But no, it will be negated completely if Toxicroak steps on the field. So let's take a look at the EVs. Obviously a 106 base physical attack. We're going to boost and max out its physical attack on the effort value side of things, and we're going to max that speed. 85 base is not too shabby, so it will do pretty well in outspeeding a majority of the tier. The thing I would take into consideration, and that's exactly why this move is on this set, is Sucker Punch for the Psychic pokes. Because if you run into a fast Psychic that retaliates when you switch and your opponent says, oh, can't use the water types anymore, time to wipe this thing out with a powerful one-hit KO Psychic, then you're going to want to be sure that you have Sucker Punch to not even mess around with the speed stats. I don't care if you maxed out your speed, it's too risky, and you want to be sure that they're going to attack. Hopefully your opponent is not too wise on what moves Toxicroak can possess, because if they see that Sucker Punch coming, they may start out the match with a calm mind, and that would be devastating. The only thing that could save you then is if you continue to use Sucker Punch, although it could go down a nasty road where, oh, which reminds me, Nasty Plot is another thing that they could be doing to raise their moves when they know all you're going to do is Sucker Punch. So you better hope that when they do strike, that Sucker Punch is a one-hit KO, but that's why we max out our physical attack. Drain Punch is there for the non-devastating one-hit KO psychic moves, anything that's not psychic, ground, or flying that it can sustain. It will regain health with every punch it gets, so keep that on there. Bulk Up, like I said before, will boost your defense and physical offense, so that is fantastic. And Ice Punch to take down those flying types and ground types effectively. Another arrangement of the moveset you can do with this specific set of effort values is a sub-focus punch set. Now with that, you'd have to have Substitute. You might want Bulk Up to make sure that your subs can stay up longer. Each time you let off a Bulk Up, so long as it's not being hit with a special move, it will take a lot more to get rid of that sub, allowing you to launch many more focus punches. I still would include Drain Punch on there, even though you have a fighting move. Now that's the one thing that is kind of odd with doing a sub-focus punch set with this poke, is that, for me, Drain Punch is too good to pass up. To regain health so that you can continue to do that substitute focus punch setup, it seems crucial. And if Bulk Up just isn't your style, you say, bah, forget it, Bah humbug to all the big boosts in defense. I just want a 2-stage increase in attack. Then sword stance is your move. But it's something to consider. It's fun to mess around with, and it uses exactly the same set of effort values as seen here. Coming in at set number 2 is the Fearsome Frog, provided by Badassxscrafy. He's my best buddy for these series. Now, with this Toxicroak, it is completely autonomous and separate from the rain. Now, unfortunately, with the shedding of the rain and dry skin, putting on a new skin, in fact, I don't think that frogs can do that. I thought that was a reptilian thing, not amphibious. But nonetheless, you will not be able to absorb any water-type moves, and this is a good thing if you're not wanting to worry about fire types either, so you'll be hit by water and fire normally like you would, but there's no advantage to having rain, and with that, you're going to have to provide your own power boosts in the form of Life Orb, or continuous Black Sludge if you want to keep upping your HP ever so little here and there. But with this set, you want to make sure you switch in properly. You don't have that free switch with uptaking a water type move, so you'll have to be careful and send it out when there's a steel type on the field, something that Toxicroak can easily tear through to trick your opponents into allowing you to set up with a Nasty Plot, a nice special attack boosting move that is favored among metagame masters. And for Nasty Plot, since it's going to be a special set, it's not actually taking advantage of its peak base stat, which is physical offense, which I thought was really interesting for this set, and it makes me wonder how a more physically offensive set would look, not using Nasty Plot, using Sword Stance instead, and using a difference of ability. I think it could be easily done. It's really just down to the ability and knowing that, oh, you don't have a free switch on water types, and when to do that boosting. Now, with Nasty Plot comes Vacuum Wave, just in case you're worried that the maximization of your speed isn't enough to get the jump on your opponent. It will strike first, very similarly to Bullet Punch, and it is a fighting type special move. That's one thing that this poke lacks, and where it would be better to maybe use the physically offensive set and separate it from the dry skin ability so that you can have access to stronger fighting moves. But even so, it's fighting type. It'll strike first. Sludge Wave, 95 base damage, a poison type stab move. And Shadow Ball, always a good thing to hold on to, especially when you hold a 4x weakness to psychic type pokes. For our final set today, we're going to take a turn and go to the defensive side of the metagame and try to raise a more stalling Toad. And that would be the Tough Toad set here, that instead of maxing out your attack or your special attack, you max out your physical defense because you can use bulk up to boost that, which that works except when there's a special sweeper on the field, so it's one thing to keep in mind. And with this set, you just keep on stalling. The beauty of it is it's a redistributing, re-upping kind of machine where it doesn't matter if you lose health, because you keep on using that Drain Punch, which will get progressively stronger with each bulk up. You'll keep regaining health, on top of having Black Sludge attached. So you're getting a boost from the Black Sludge, you're getting a boost from the Drain Punch every time you use it, and with Dry Skin enabled, you'll be able to gain little bits of health here and there from every drop of rain that falls. Just again, beware that fire types will be more effective, and Sunny Day will damage this frog, unfortunately. But if you can keep the rain on the field and keep on bulking up and toxifying your foes, it will be so annoying to try and take down this Toad, because with Protect you can stall even better. So with every stall, every Protect, you gain health on Black Sludge and Rain, and they lose health due to Toxic, and then once the Protect shields are down, you obliterate them with a Drain Punch. Now again, you could use Substitute and Focus Punch here, but then you'd be having to worry about divvying out your health for the sub, and if your opponent has enough time to set up on you, because you put your sub out and they say, well, screw that, he's just going to Protect stall, I'm going to get some Calm Minds or Nasty Plots out so I can wipe them out in one-hit shots, then that might be a problem. But if you are aware of the special sweepers and you know them when you see them, you'll be able to make the switch and preserve this Toad for a later time. when the rainstorms are good and the special sweepers have all gone to sleep. So, I hope this has helped you in OU, one of the most played meta tiers in the game, and I was very surprised to see that this is the only poison type that belongs to this tier. So, very interested in the tier system now that I have been engrossed in the metagame a lot more than I used to. Next week, I'm going to try a tier that we've never tackled before, so you're going to stay tuned for that. And the best way to stay tuned for that is to subscribe to Planet Poke. Yes, you just hit that big yellow button, unless you're watching this in the future of YouTube and it's a different kind of button. It's a hologram button that you have to swipe with your finger. Oh, it's coming, guys. It's coming. I know it will. Then hit that sub button, and you'll be updated every time Planet Poke puts out a vid. And if you just cannot be entertained enough, even with all the content that is on that channel, and it is copious, let me tell you, then check out my channel, youtube.com/DeoGenZ, for some effort value expertise training. This series will help you considerably if you don't know what you're doing in the invisible effort value range. And it would make sense that you don't, because nobody ever says it. It's not in instruction booklets. It's not even in the best of strategy guides. I've gained many strategy guides as a Poke fan, Pokemaniac if you will, and I haven't seen one say, hey, did you know there's invisible stats that actually determine whether you're going to win or not? Yeah, they make it all look like it's down to being friends with your Pokemon, or making sure they're at a high level and that you're attacking the other Poke with its weakness. And yeah, that all comes into play. But when you get onto the metagame, you need to know these invisible numbers. So, this has been all for this week. I'm DeoGenZ, and I will see you in the future.